Please join me in welcoming the co-founder and CEO of AugmentedReality.org, a nonprofit advancing the adoption of augmented reality, and the producer of AWE, Augmented World Expo, the man helping to bring superpowers to the people, Ori Inbar.
Good morning, Berlin. I'm super excited to welcome you all to the first AWE Europe 2016. Welcome. Are you all ready to get your superpowers? That was good, but I think we can do better. Are you all ready to get your superpowers? Yes. Nice. Guys, we are here for one reason. We all believe a new wave of computing is coming, and for the first time, it's completely natural. And it can make us humans better at anything we do in work and life. AR and VR are giving superpowers to the people, and it will swallow all personal computing as we know it. When we started AWE 7 years ago, these technologies were the future. Well, they are here now, and they are real. But we have a lot of work to do. Our mission is to engage every startup, every corporation, and every investor, and make this industry thrive. So thank you all for joining on our mission here today. When we founded AugmentedReality.org almost a decade ago, as a nonprofit with a mission to advance augmented reality, to advance humanity, we set up a goal of inspiring 1 billion AR users by the end of the decade. Well, I'm happy to report that we are on track to achieving it. Hundreds of thousands of workers are already using it to improve their work, and hundreds of millions of millennials are already using it on a daily basis. To illustrate that, I have 2 words for you. You know it, right? Pokemon Go. I know you're thinking this is not true AR and so on and so forth, but think about it. It's educating millions about the idea of interacting with their real environment using their devices. And then, of course, there is Snapchat with crazy filters and face swap. Again, they're not calling it AR, but it's educating so many kids about how to use their camera to augment their life. And Snapchat is not stopping there. They want to bring it to our faces with super cool fashion, which actually has some potential to be much more successful than, you know what, Google has. But Snapchat is not alone. A whole slew of new consumer apps are harnessing the smartphone camera to add virtual content to reality, such as this new Giphy Cam app, a super popular app to create GIFs that augment currently mostly cats. And by the way, Facebook is planning to come out with its own camera augmentation soon, so stay tuned for that. And if that's not enough, take a look at the most reliable source for new trends, The Simpsons. They dedicated a full episode to AR and VR, showing some incredible vision of the possibilities as well as the pitfalls of this technology. Okay. So let's rewind to this frame for a second and analyze it. Is Mo here using VR or AR? What do you think? He's walking on the street, so he must be using AR. So how come he bumps into this pole, right? And second, he has these amazing gloves, haptic gloves, that simulate holding a glass of wine or maybe even having sex. So it's kind of a few years in the future, so how come you still have this backpack with the computer in the back? But seriously, we have to prepare for this. At some point in the future, there will be an inflection point where more smart glasses are sold than smartphones. It took smartphones 10 years to get from 0 to 1 billion shipments. And if history teaches us anything, is that the adoption cycles only accelerate over time. It will be faster for this wave. How do we know? It's in our bones. Humans need to interact with the real world. Hunching over a device and bumping into things is not natural. Like in Black Mirror, a TV program that depicts a near-future dystopian world. Any fans? Black Mirror? Right. And it actually looks a little bit like the present, right? I think that in a few years we'll look back at this and this will seem so awkward. But above all, this change will happen because when your glass-wearing workmates, playmates, and classmates perform better than you, can you afford not to wear? Smart glasses make people better at anything they do, and we all want superpowers. I know some of you may feel this is maybe too much like comics and it's not serious, right? But just look around here at AWE Europe. This is very serious. We have several demos downstairs that turn ordinary workers into super workers, or make us amazing table tennis players, or even golf players. This is real. So how did we get here? Winston Churchill once said, "The farther back you can look, the farther forward you'll see." AWE in the US grew from humble beginnings 7 years ago and has reached 4,000 attendees this past June, coming from 47 countries to help accelerate this industry. 200 inspiring speakers and nearly 200 amazing exhibitors from across the industry. When I delivered the opening remarks at AWE in 2010, these were the glasses we had, kind of concept cyberpunk glasses, if you will. And look at what we have this year. These are real products that you can buy and deploy to achieve real benefits. So how's the industry growing? In 2014, we predicted the adoption of headsets will look something like this. And so far, we are on track. For the first time, 4 major VR platforms are shipping this year. And this year, we'll also see a total of 10 million shipments of AR and VR headsets. AR smart glasses are being adopted in enterprises and are already showing significant benefits to businesses all over the world, and as benefits to consumers as well. We also predicted that a shakeup is coming, somewhere between 2016 and 2017. At that point, early winners will emerge, mergers and acquisitions will accelerate, and investors will go completely crazy. Here's my main message for you today. The window of opportunity to take a leadership position in AR and VR is basically the next 3 to 9 months. No matter if you are an investor, a giant corporation, or a startup, you'll need to look good by then, or you'll stay behind and have to play catch-up. And the shake-up might have already begun, as some analysts like DG Capital report. The level of investments is accelerating. 2016 is already showing 80% growth over last year. And in the past 12 months, more than $2 billion were poured into companies in this industry. And this is even before the peak has arrived. Now, a word on AR versus VR. Many people tend to put AR and VR together. And I think it's important to emphasize that today, they are actually very different. There is a meaningful overlap between the two, but there are different products being used very differently. So AR or VR, which one is better? I think they're both awesome. And it's just, we're going to use it in different parts of the day. AR is going to be used mostly when we're out there in the real world, interacting with people in our daily work. And VR It's going to be used initially mostly for entertainment and when we want to escape to a different world, transport ourselves to a different experience. However, and that's really important, there's a common foundation for both. Common technologies, common skills, common expertise. And that's why it's so important for us to bring together these two communities. And it's the guiding light at AWE. And you see that reflected in the diverse program that we've put together here at AWE EU. On the main stage, we have talks about AR and VR for enterprise, for consumers, about interaction techniques, and tomorrow morning, we dedicate a few sessions to smart glasses adoption. A developer track downstairs will have plenty of tutorials about SDKs and tools, the latest research, and don't miss the startup pitches during lunch. And of course, a fantastic expo with lots of great demos that you can try yourself. This program is possible thanks to some of the best speakers in the industry. So I want you to put your hands together for these awe-inspiring speakers. Give it up. And to amazing companies participating. Yes. And wait, there's more. Even more companies. And of course, I want us to thank our awesome sponsors who helped make this event possible. Give it up for our amazing sponsors. A whole new ecosystem is being built right here in front of our eyes, with tremendous innovation that runs across the entire ecosystem from all layers. When a new platform typically arrives, the incumbents not always take the leadership position. On the computing layer, the question becomes, who will be the next Intel, the next Qualcomm of this new wave? On the hardware side, who will be the next Apple, Samsung, or Nokia? And on the software foundation, who will be the next Google that maps the world in 3D? And the next SAP who builds solutions for each one of the verticals? We are all here to make this happen. You in this room are the Avengers. You are leading the movement. And as the saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, for those who don't know. So I have a question for you. Will you use it for good? So here's our contribution. Here are the 5 things that AR.org and AWE is doing to help accelerate this industry. First, we're proud to announce the new AR Glasses Buyer's Guide. It's a free interactive tool where you can find information about all the smart glasses out there in the market, because one size doesn't fit all. You can slice it by spec, compare it side by side. You can find it all at arglassesbuyersguide.com. On our YouTube channel, we've published the world's largest collection of videos about AR with visionary talks, best practices, tutorials, demos, interviews, and dozen industry use cases. We're now adding more content on VR, but it's a great resource to get started and get to dig deeper into this industry. And our partner, AR4 Enterprise Alliance, or AREA, who's doing a fantastic job in their focus on enterprise, has put together an amazing collection of industry use cases and studies, from real implementations delivering real business value today, from manufacturing to oil and gas to healthcare, logistics, automotive, field services, and practically any vertical that you're in. Check it out on their site at thearea.org. And then, it's also important to join forces in the industry and synchronize our plans across the entire industry to create a roadmap that helps us move forward in a faster and more accelerated way. So we partnered with IEEE to form a group that worked diligently over the last year to define an industry roadmap And we'll see the initial findings of this group tomorrow here on the stage. We're also putting our money where our mouth is. In the beginning of 2016, we founded Super Ventures in San Francisco, an incubator and fund focused on AR. We have already made investments in 8 companies in foundation technology that will have impact across the entire industry. And we see our organization as sort of a hub to help connect investors, corporations, and startups across this industry. And we want to engage with you all. As a bonus here at AWE Europe, we are bringing you one of the best books ever written about AR. The author, Dieter Schmalstig, is actually here and is actually going to talk a little bit about it. And it's an opportunity to get a discount on the book as well as autographs for those interested. And finally, a special treat for you here in Berlin. Our friends at Splash have produced an amazing after party tonight. You're all invited to a gorgeous location, the Palais, which is in there in this address. Drinks, music, VR art, and installations and experiences, plus a special surprise. So you want to get your wristbands and directions near registration downstairs. So this is what we are doing for good. I want to ask you again, what about you? Will you use your superpowers for good? So before I let you get your superpowers, a couple of things. First of all, make sure to download the mobile app. This is where you get the most up-to-date agenda. And you can also get special announcements about things happening in the conference. It's also the best way to connect with attendees and exhibitors and make sure you follow up with them. And you can even show some love for the speakers and exhibitors and like them in the app. Just download the Visible app and search for AWE Europe. And now for one more thing, the Augies. So at our annual Augie ceremony in the US last June, we gave out 12 Augie Awards that represented the best of the best in AR, VR, and wearables. You can see it all at Augmented World Expo, Augies. Lots of great winners, but we felt that we had to give at least one prize right here in Europe. So, I mean, look at this. It's such a gorgeous trophy, one of a kind, handcrafted by an artist since 2010. So the event wrap-up tomorrow at 5 p.m. We'll gather here to honor the best in AWE Europe. So make sure to be right here at 5, where our sponsors, Bosch and Reflect, will present the award. And until then, here's a cool augmented app that our partners, Wikitude, put together for the Augie. Thank you, Wikitude. So I hope it's going to be a great show for everyone. Join me in thanking the awesome team who put this event together. Give it up for the awesome team. Now go get your superpowers.